Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com.
James, look at you.
I was doing a thumbnail for Ibby. Thanks, bud. Yeah. Feeling good. Feeling good about myself.
Somebody ripped that thumbnail and put it in.
Sure.
There's a Ross Patterson Revolution private Facebook group that you can just go ham in, like say whatever you want.
Sure.
So I posted that yesterday. I cried laughing.
Yeah, me too. I cried too. Yeah. Didn't laugh, but lots of tears about my appearance.
Speaking of appearance,
Yeah.
I finally got a little bit more light today.
Look, they let you have a little window open in your cell, huh?
Whew, boy, apparently I was very good to the guards last night. They gave me bread and a little bit of lights. And
we don't want to know what you did.
But. Yeah, it's what the contestants on Survivor do to the cameraman.
Gotcha. Victimless crime.
A little HJ for a Snickers bar.
Find me the victim.
Yeah, we can get to that in a minute. But I have been stuck in the Al Jazeera network, obviously, for the last few days. And you're like, hey, man, why don't you just go get like a ring light for your camera or something, right? Get a little more light on you. Due to your location.
Right.
I've been to 3 or 4 Best Buys at this point and another place called Fry's. Remember Fry's in LA?
Oh my God, Fry's.
Yes.
It was all like used and refurb stuff.
Yeah. So they have one here.
You dig through it like a thrift store for like high priced electronics. It's awesome.
So they have one here. And I went to 4 of these. First of all, sold out of ring lights, sold out of cameras. The camera HD cameras to go on top of the computer, because I got an old school computer. I'm trying to finish this book and then I'll get a new computer afterwards.
Sure.
I just have like 9 million drafts saved on this. And finally this morning I was like, you know what? I'm going to give one last Best Buy a run here. So I ran over there and I was like, hey, I need a Logitech, just a little tiny camera for my computer and a ring light. And the guy was like, oh, we don't have any of those. And I was like, why not? Finally, I just lost my mind. I was just like, why not? Why don't you have any of these things? First of all, Fry's looks like it was looted at some point, although it wasn't.
It looks like I Am Legend.
Yeah, there's
walking through.
There's like 2 toasters from 1990 left, and a phone, an Android phone playing Quibi, and that's the only thing that Fry's has now.
Right, rats the size of humans running around. Yeah,
they're out of everything. So out of the corner of my eye, I spot a ring light, and I was like, "There's one right there." And I was like, "I'll take that." And he goes, "Oh man, that's in the wrong section." And he goes, "I don't know how you found it, but grab it now." And he gave me this like desperation look, and I finally was just like, I chatted with him. I was like, "What's the story here, man? This is like the 4th place I've been to. Everybody's sold out of ring lights and HD cameras and all this other stuff for your computer." And they were like, "Look, because everybody's been forced to go to Zoom and everyone looks shitty, they're buying their own production equipment to make themselves look better and feel better in these meetings." And I told him, I was like, man, that's the truth, because I felt like shit the last 2 days looking at myself in these goddamn Zoom cameras and all this other shit, right? And he goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, "You're definitely not alone on that one." And he goes, "You live in Austin now, so you better get used to it, because everybody else is doing it." Because I tried to get one on Amazon and they're on back order as well. And then what he said was, he was like, "Look, man, there is a lot of companies now who probably aren't just going back at all. They're just going to stick to straight Zoom. For their meetings and all this other place." And that extended into commercial real estate. So we're about to close on an office this afternoon that we're going to be in until we build one, which is exciting. It's been a crazy nonstop week of endless appointments and all of that stuff. But what I wanted to tell you last night, because you were at dinner, and I don't want to bother you, but I had I'm meeting with about 3 commercial realtors here in Austin. The big ones, like the big guns were out there, and they were unbelievably brutally honest about what was going on in the state of Austin, in the state of Texas. Like, I mean, the state of what's going on, I guess I should have said, like, as far as commercial real estate's going, like, and they were like, look, man, people are leaving. They're just leaving their offices altogether. And I'm like, what are they going to do with their leases? And they're like, look, if you're under 6 months, and you can't afford to pay it anymore because most of these cities are shutting down and everything, they were like, people are just leaving, because if they get sued in courts, those court fees will be the same as that rent. Some people are trying to be on the up and up and say, hey man, we're going to give you some cash for this next month. And then we're going to leave after that, and good luck trying to sublet it. But over the course of the last week, I have had more meetings. You were on a couple of them with bars, restaurants that were just trying to rent out either half of their bar or half of their restaurant as an office space.
And if it would have worked, like, I would love to do that and give people some extra income.
Same.
It's just like, it's just not quite there. And you're like, damn it.
Yeah.
That would be a perfect situation. But yeah.
It would. And, you know, the longer I talked with these people last night, it's not just Austin. This is going on in cities around the nation. And, you know, they're saying that what they were saying too is they were seeing a mass exodus from Los Angeles, and they are hoping that the people from Los Angeles are going to come and get office space here, because they're expecting the commercial real estate market to crash, not just here, but everywhere. Like, you know, in all the big cities around the nation. The problem with it is, when I was telling them, is I was like, man, your commercial real estate prices here match LA. So I think people are going to have sticker shock once they get here, because it's the same price, and you're either going to have to start slashing or figure out another way. But some of the businesses that we've gone to that were closed down were awesome. Remember that one place you and I went? It was like a panic room, or
so it was an escape room.
Yeah.
Everyone must remember this craze that was happening, where this is exactly what happened with the escape room craze. Is that there would be empty places, right? Empty office buildings, and people are like, okay, well, we want some rent from it, and all these people do is just darken out the rooms, make them weird, and then you have an escape room, and they would pop up everywhere. So they're kind of like pop-ups for an in-between lease type of situation, and they would move all over. So it's kind of perfect. We went to this escape room, which, as you probably can imagine, in the COVID cannot happen, because you're a bunch of people in a room together, touching each other, trying to get out. Can't do it. So these places all over are going under, although I can't imagine they would have a long lease anyways, but this place was cool and the area was awesome. And there's just like, the rooms were so weird. It was like electric chair room, and then like weird gypsy.
There was a Breaking Bad room.
Yep. It was fucking awesome.
It was awesome, but it made me sad, because you had all of these cool businesses. So all I did for the last week, every single second of my day that we weren't on air, was look at all of these office buildings that are going under. One was the Statesman, which is the biggest newspaper in Austin. Huge building, 600,000 square feet. I think you were with me on the first trip to that.
I was, yeah. It was that's talk about I Am Legend, but go ahead.
600,000 square feet. We show up and there's 9 cars in the parking lot. That means 9 people are working there. Yeah. And I went back yesterday to look at another space there. Same 9 cars. So it wasn't like I caught them on a bad day, oh, maybe I was, on an off hour. And it's sad to see what is happening across the country. And because look, if it's here, it is everywhere. And this is going to keep getting worse and worse and worse the longer this shutdown lasts. You got a couple guys fighting it though. Kemp, Governor Kemp in Georgia, big Kemp energy. This guy, man, he's been all in of like, Georgia's going to open. Remember that was the first state that was going to open, and he's like, we're doing this. Now the latest last night was Governor Brian Kemp bans Georgia cities and counties from mandating masks and face coverings. Makes me want to move to Georgia now.
What did our producer say? Kemp's always been a baller ass bitch. Hey, I believe it.
That was Alex's statement right before we went on air. Kemp has always been a baller ass bitch. So local governments in the states will not be able to order people to wear masks in public places, according to a new executive order issued by Kemp on Wednesday, which also extended many COVID-19 provisions. The Republican governor's previous COVID-19 orders have for months banned cities and counties from taking more restrictive steps than the state, but new rules explicitly specify for the first time that the state's local governments can't enforce mask mandates. That's huge to me because look, man, I've been going through every inch of this city. It's been about 104 degrees here. It's Texas in the summer. That's not surprising, obviously. So it's not like it's a big shock on that one. But wearing a mask in that heat is just brutal. And like I was with a GC yesterday and general contractor, and he had his assistant there, and like he's walking through. By the third building, he had given up. He was just like, "Hey guys, I can't breathe. You know,
I can't breathe. I'm breathing in my own carbon monoxide." One of the oxes.
One of the oxes, yeah.
Smart. I mean, this is science with Jessie.
Yeah. We're all making eye contact with one another. Yeah. We're all making eye contact with one another of like, hey man, is this cool? Finally, I just broke the ice and I just said, hey man, guys, I realize it is 104 degrees out. It is really too hot for this bullshit. I do not care about COVID, therefore. And then everybody was like a huge sigh of relief. They're like,
yeah.
So
my gosh.
Took off their mask, and that's how we live the rest of the day.
Yeah, I had the same sort of experience last night at a restaurant because I was sitting with the owners.
Humble brag. So you want to pick up that name you strapped her?
I'm back home, baby. Okay. People know me. Okay. So I was having dinner with like a big group of people on a patio. No one was wearing masks, the same as you had your sushi experience or whatever. But
yeah.
And they were just like, no, we're good. Like, we don't care. They're so pissed at all these Karens that are calling on them because in Ojai, there's going to be people that drive by and go, I didn't see anybody wearing masks in there.
Yeah.
Which they're, pissed about. But it just felt like, because we're wearing our mask at first, and everyone's kind of like, we're good, right? I don't care. You don't care. We don't care. We don't care. But there was like 10 people to be like, are you sure everybody doesn't care? And then we're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. And
everyone's just like, all right, we're all cool here. Like, it feels good.
Feels good. Feels good. You know what felt even better last night, Jabes, was that school order for our new district here in Tejas.
Yeah.
Thank God, dude. They just announced here for our school district, hey, parents have the option. You can go to school every single day of the week, or you can learn from home. And I was like, all you have to do is fill out the survey. And I go, Jessie, you fill out the survey as best as you can. What did they ask you in that survey, by the way?
How you felt about masks, how you felt your family, if they're immune compromised, if you have anyone elderly living in your family, how you feel, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Basically, they don't want to be sued.
Sure.
And you're basically saying, I'm not going to sue you. I assume all risk. I'm okay with whatever risk that is.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
So
that's amazing.
I did that. I don't know how many people it does get into. I don't know how many people are going to be like, no, I'm cool with my kid getting totally sick. So when it goes down that vein, you sort of be like, oh shit, am I being a bad pet? Do you know what I mean? Because they make it they have to let you know the worst case so that you know what's up.
Sure.
And then you start to be like, oh God, what am I doing? But I'd rather have him go and wear a mask than not,
Yeah.
And if something happens, I'm sure here's my prediction with it is that schools that go back full time, you will be shut down every once in a while. Do you know what I mean? I think intermittently there's going to be these like too many cases, or a teacher gets it, or too many kids get it, and then they have to disclose, and then you shut down for a certain amount of time. Do you know what I mean?
We'll see.
So I just don't see any world where they stay completely open the whole time, but
we'll see. We'll find out. I feel okay about it, actually. Look, kids don't really get it, so we'll see what happens. I'm excited they at least gave us the option to be an American, because in Austin they did not. We're just outside the city. We're in Dripping Springs, and they did. You know, we just beat it by like 2 miles, brother.
Yeah.
But they're not going back. So right now they're shut down, I guess, for the first month, and they're going to see what happens, and then try to give it a go-sies after that. North Carolina is obviously going 1 week on, 2 weeks off, which is a nightmare in itself. Luckily, Dripping Springs was cool with it. I want to tell you who your new neighbor is out there, Jabes.
Where?
In
Dripping Springs?
Yeah. She's pretty big. It's pretty big. So I was at dinner afterwards yesterday, kind of going over these contracts for this new office building or whatever. Somebody was like, "Oh, you're out in Dripping Springs." They were like, "A friend of mine's out there. She's got a huge podcast as well." And I was like, "Oh." And she was like, "Yeah, she writes a lot of books too. She's also a New York Times bestselling author." And I was like, "Come on." I was like, "She can't be bigger than me." And then they dropped Rachel Hollis on me. And I was like, "Girl, wash your face. Wash your face."
We're over Rachel Hollis, but yeah, no, I'm happy that it's her. Do you know what I mean?
She wants to be on Broettes. You're not going to have her on?
No, I'm just joking. Yeah, I'll have her on. You know, it'd be cool though, because she does a podcast with her husband.
No, no. Not anymore.
Oh, not married anymore.
Yeah. Want to I want to go ahead and cut you off at the pass.
So their podcast called Rise Up Together.
Yes.
No longer. Well, I would love to talk to her about the legalities of getting out of marriage. That would be great. Yeah, I'll have her on.
Yeah. It's look, we're all heading there, aren't we?
I'm fucking joking.
Yeah, but she got divorced, I guess, and they were talking about it last night, and they said, you know, because they were asking me kind of about fans and comments, and do you read the comments on all your stuff and everything else? And I was like, man, I haven't read comments in 4 years, 5 years. Like, I just, you know, I don't really do that unless it's we're doing live on YouTube or something. I'll read the messages that come in.
Yeah, we read the nooners, but pretty much everyone else.
I just don't. I don't do it. I just don't want it to affect my show every day. But apparently, you know, because she has a huge Christian background,
people are mad.
Fan base. Yes, they are very
mad. She didn't stick it out
at divorce. So not sure what happened there, but I was like, oh shit. Okay.
I don't know. She was very successful.
She still is very successful.
You know what I mean? And he wasn't. I don't know.
Oh, really?
It's rough. Yeah.
I don't know.
They were rising up. Yeah, they were rising up together. But she was holding his hand up. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's Christian, right? Super Christian. So you
super Christian. You got to rise up together. And, you know, we don't know what he did, right? So let's not jump on her. We don't know if he was feeling insecure and cheated on her or something. You know, I don't know.
I have no idea. I didn't get
Pure
into
speculation.
Yeah, I was at a dinner and I was like, look, man, I'm not gonna go down this road, you know.
Sure.
And I was like, cool. We'll save that for another convo.
Interesting. I mean,
get her on. I said, look, because they were like, look, she'd be great on the podcast. I was like, yeah, she'd be great on Broettes.
Oh God.
Yeah. So
yes, I mean, yeah. That would be a good show to kind of let people know she's going to be on, and any questions they have for her or stuff that we have. You know, she's motivational in that she kind of came from nothing, high school degree or high school diploma only, and how successful she is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, we'll see.
Go for her.
We'll see. Your girl last night's Megan Thee Stallion, Jabes.
I don't even know who's my girl anymore. I guess according to you.
Come on.
Carry on.
You've sung that song for the last year now.
Oh, because I'm a savage.
There you go. There you go.
I don't sing it. I seriously have never sung it one time. Shut your mouth. You're lying. The people know you're lying. So you do whatever you want. They know the truth.
I've heard you sing it in the kitchen numerous times. What's the rest
Shut
of
the
it?
fuck up, dude.
Bougie, ratchet.
I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard you say it many times. She got shot 9 times yesterday. So,
It's so much more fun when I don't have topics. And I was like out last night with the owners of the restaurant, so I didn't like hear any news.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Alive?
She's alive. We talked about it. We barely touched on it on Drinkin Bros last night, just a little bit, because it was a breaking story, and I was just like, what the fuck happened here? Because she was in a car with Tory Lanez. Now, we've talked about Tory Lanez on this show before. He's the guy who started going Instagram Live, the quarantine radio.
Yeah.
He got millions and millions of followers, and he's been putting out albums. He has made the very most out of this quarantine. One of the most entertaining IG lives there is, and I've watched some of his shit. They got stopped by like 5 police cars and a helicopter. She gets out of the car. She's bleeding out of her foot and other places. He's got a loaded gun in the car. It was a whole scene, and everybody's trying to figure it out. So, he got arrested for having a loaded gun in the car. And they're trying to figure out what happened. Turns out she had gotten shot at.
And he was driving her or something?
Something. Like they were out together, either at a dinner or coming, picking up dinner or something. And she got shot 9 times. She got hit in the leg and I believe the foot, and she was bleeding. So they had to get her to the hospital. So the ambulances came and all that other shit. And the rumor is that Tory Lanez pulled over and started shooting back. Like he had his own gun, was just like, yo, fuck this, and started blasting off rounds. Obviously, the cops were called, the helicopters came in, everything in LA. But I was telling Dan yesterday on Drinkin Bros, I was like, man, I can't remember a female rapper getting shot like this.
And that's very 50 Cent, right? Didn't he get shot 9 times as well?
Yeah. His were a little more severe. Like I think only 2 of them hit. So I think she only got hit in the leg and like the foot or something.
Oh, she got shot at 9 times?
They're not saying. So that it's a speculation right now. All I looked at was the footage of her getting out of the car. She was limping. She was still able to walk, but she was limping and there was blood all over the street. So like, I don't know.
She got shot at 9 times and she got shot 2 times in the foot.
I believe,
different story.
But I'm not
Do you know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. Nobody knows the real story yet. That is what TMZ is reporting. So who knows where, if she got shot somewhere else or whatever. It looked like a lot of blood. So
sure.
I'm not real clear on it, but it's nice to see females getting treated equally.
Yeah. Look,
especially in the rap game.
Yeah. I have a baby monitor that's beeping. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves.
You've got a baby monitor beeping. Is nobody there today, Japes? It looks like it's just you. That's the beauty of Zoom, kids. You're getting real life at home. I don't even know what is in the background of Jesse's room right now. It looks like a pile of clothes and some form of exposed electrical wiring. But I dig all of it.
What'd you say? Oh yeah, I moved to a different room and I can't escape wires here, guys. I'm in a different room still. It's a work in progress, but really close. Like we just need to put TVs where the wires are behind me. But other than that, I don't know why I didn't choose another thing, but it's the light coming in and the whole thing, and the dirty clothes too. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, I just wanted to let you guys know. I wanted you to really get to know me.
Yeah.
A fresh face, natural beauty, some would say.
You look great, by the way.
Messy,
Yeah, you look great.
Thanks.
Yeah. Is no one there? Is no one there with the kids to babysit today? Is that all on you?
Yeah, so I don't know where they are or what's up. There's bears and things like that around here. We are up in the woods, so
Yeah, I
don't
heard.
know how many I'm gonna have at the end of this broadcast, but I think the
I
big one will last.
I heard 3 chainsaws in the background. Is he juggling again, or?
That must have been them. They're doing this new thing where they go back and forth with it. Whereas the
Him and the
older one was
2-year-old?
just yeah.
Yeah.
So he's trying to include him, which I asked him to do. So
Of
he is
course.
listening. Yeah. No, Grandpa's here. Pancakes.
Pancakes. Pancakes with Grandpa.
Pancakes with Grandpa.
Chris Cuomo went all in last night for all you Cuomo sexuals out there.
The brothers
lot of
Cuomo. The brothers
Yeah.
Cuomo.
The brothers Cuomo, the Cuomo sexuals, no Cuomo, whatever you prefer to call yourself and or your crew. He was live on air on CNN last night, and Trump had one of the best trolls ever. So the CEO of Goya, the very popular bean company. I was unaware how many people loved Goya beans. Like
it's
a
one
thing.
of those it's one of those things you don't even realize. You know what I mean? But every single person has a can of Goya somewhere, whether it's in the back of the thing or you never use it or whatever. You have one at your house, and that's huge.
Yeah. So with the Goya CEO, he came out and just said, "Look, I'm going to be voting for Trump, and I think what he's done for businesses in this country has been amazing, and I fully support him." And blah blah blah. There has been a boycott Goya going around the internet now for like 2 days and blah blah blah. Yeah, you don't say. And there was a few very famous Latino singers and actors that just said, "Look, man, we're not canceling Goya. There's one thing that we won't do on this earth, and that is cancel Goya. People are allowed to have freedom of speech and whatever they want, but we're definitely not going to cancel Goya. That's the best there is."
Love it.
So last night, he puts a variety of Goya products in the Oval Office on his desk and took a picture with a big thumbs up and just blast that out on Twitter.
I do like that, to be honest.
And so did Ivanka. Ivanka held up a can.
Love it.
Like she was modeling a bottle of Luc Belaire champagne. And I was just like, it's a really, really funny troll. For whatever reason last night, this absolutely triggered Chris Cuomo. He lost his shit live on air. And he goes, "What is this bullshit? What is this bullshit?" And he said bullshit live on CNN last night.
They didn't beep it or anything.
No,
he said
it went
bullshit.
Yeah, it just went clean across the airwaves. And I was like,
ooh.
And he goes, "You have a man in the Oval Office during the middle of a global pandemic, and he is posing with products and trying to pimp out products." But the nation was like, "No, he's not trying to pimp out any products.
Pimping products, dude.
He doesn't own any part of Goya. It's just a master troll to get people like you to freak out live on air." And I look, I'm gonna be honest. I think Cuomo is above the law over there at CNN.
I guess. Yeah, because he had that last rant where he literally said he doesn't want to do this anymore. He's done.
Yeah.
Still there.
And they re-upped his contract the day after. He made that rant of like, "Look, CNN
I'm out of here. I hate this."
Pushing their own narrative. I'm tired of dividing the nation, blah, blah, blah. Signed a new $15 million deal, and he was magically fine with it the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
And now this, where you're just going on air and just, screaming out that this is bullshit over a can of beans on the a literal can of beans.
Bro. I do say calm down a lot, but just like calm down, dude. Calm down. We all just need to calm down.
It was so funny to see, man. It was like a minute clip that's gone viral. I've probably played it 30 times. Just because of the anger about this can of beans.
Sure.
Like when you're angry over a can of beans, chances are your life's not worth living anymore.
Yeah. Chances are, though, you're never going to be happy.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, chances are you're never going to be happy. There's
And-
certain things that get to me where I go to that level, but it's certainly not a can of beans.
Right. If you are trying to get happy though, and trying to make yourself happy, I'd go ahead and slide on down to Carole Baskin's Cameo accounts and go ahead and order yourself up a video from Carole Baskin's.
Gosh, yeah.
I'll tell you why. There's one going viral today where it's only $199, by the way, for Carole Baskin. So if you want a video from her, that's reasonably priced.
Is that normal though? How much are cameos normally?
Well, we tried to get, I can share this story now. I don't think I could back in the day, but so I tried to buy Caitlyn Jenner to give
that's right.
an endorsement for Matt's book when it came out last year, and it was $2,500. And she
my God. Okay.
She said no, which was surprising.
Yeah, because she's very conservative. Whatever.
Yeah,
Like
well, the book is.
Do you know what I mean?
But the book is conservative, so
yeah, there's no reason why.
$2,500.
Say no.
And it was just like, yeah, no, whatever. So Mike the cop, who was on the show on Drinkin Bros, when he retired on the show, his best friend, Officer Daniels, bought one from Carole Baskin and said, "Oh, hey, you cool cat and kittens. Sorry you're retiring from the law enforcement. We just want to wish you all the best here." Blah, blah, blah. It was really funny, right? And I was like, oh, shit, she actually does these, and it's pretty fast.
God.
So the one that's gone viral is someone ordered one last night for their friend's birthday and said, hey, if you could wish them a birthday singing the lyrics to 50 Cent's in the club, it's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. We're gonna sip Bacardi like it's your birthday.
No,
it was
no,
her.
No.
It was her and her husband holding up a bottle of Bacardi, singing the song.
No.
You can hear it in her voice already, singing the lyrics. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. Wait, here's the beauty of it.
Sip Bacardi.
Yeah.
Like it is in fact your birthday.
That's exactly how it is. And then she gets to the last line, and that was it. That was the box of magic that happens. Because you know that we don't give a fudge.
Oh, went fudge. She went fudge. Now, what's happening in the world that we're talking about this? It's cheap. Cheap. It's cheap. You're better than this, bro.
I'm not better than this.
You're better than this, buddy. That's an easy, cheap one.
No, I laughed this morning, though, for 1,000 years, and I had to. Well. Is everybody sharing this video now? And it's like, I'm sure she's flooded with it now to get different songs going. But I would imagine that's probably the next wave of videos you'll see pop up of Carole Baskin doing cover songs. So
nope.
Get ready for that. Oh, crazy story yesterday, by the way. This is a wild one. So one of these offices that I was looking at, I don't know who is in there. Again, most people are just jumping ship and leaving these offices, and all their shit's still in there. So, you know, you're just like, oh, well, what the fuck is this, right? One office, I found a original newspaper from when JFK got assassinated, and it was framed. And everybody looked at each other, and it was weathered, the whole thing. I mean, it was beautiful. And everybody looked at each other. It was just like, who's going to take this? Because I think I'm going to take this. I wanted to get my hands on it, but I didn't have seniority in this position, obviously.
Sure, got it. Did someone else take it?
Yes. Why? It's an empty building. I mean, people just left all their shit in the building. That was it. The other one was we went to another office where people had just left. I don't know what they did. It was either some form of concert booking or acting, maybe like for extras and stuff, right? There was old black and white headshots of like bands and things like that and actors. And so we started going through them because we were waiting for the electricity to be turned on. So we started going through them. I found I didn't take these, but I wish I would have. I found a headshot of Ben Folds.
Okay.
Ben Folds 5.
Sure. Know it well.
Like the 1990s, a black and white headshot of Ben Folds. And I was like, oh shit. One from the band Fuel
Yes. Now you're talking my language. Speaking the language.
and
Ben Folds and Fuel. Oh,
yeah.
what a dream.
And everybody was like, "Oh shit, these guys actually made it!" Like, it was
Yeah.
pretty cool. It was just a stack of black and white headshots where you're just like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
It was nice to see. It was nice to see old Ben Folds. I had totally forgotten about Ben Folds 5.
Oh, what a great band, though. There's so many songs that you're like, oh, Ben Folds, and it's a vibe. It's more of a vibe.
If you
what? Ben Folds is a vibe, dude.
It's one of those things. Whenever I hear it, I'm just picturing my head because I can't name any of his songs off the top of my head.
No, not name, but yeah.
But I have like a feeling there probably was like 5 Ben Folds 5 songs used in like the OC or something.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, you are completely right with that.
Am I really?
I mean, yeah, I think I remember that for sure. So let's see songs.
Yeah, pull them up if you can.
Still fighting it. The luckiest.
We don't have access to the comments in YouTube, but I'm sure people are.
I'm sure people are like, dude, fucking that one. Brick. Okay, Brick. That's the one.
Brick. Okay. Yeah. So I look. There was a bunch in there. Oh shit. Yeah. Hold that a little closer to the mic. There you go. Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Right?
A lot of breakups to that song.
Vibe.
A lot of breakups to that song.
Oh, yes.
It's a great song, actually.
Now I'm in it. Oh, I am in it. I'm back to life.
Yeah, that's a great song. I would if I was putting it on a playlist.
Sure.
I would put that with probably the Verve Pipe. That song Freshman.
They're very
were only freshmen.
Similar, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you're doing a playlist of like those type of songs, like
I would do Closing Time.
Yeah, I put that on there as well.
Closing Time.
Who sings that? Exactly.
Biddlebees?
Yeah, the
Biddlebees Orchestra. Do you remember them from the 90s?
Yeah.
Biddlesbees.
The old Biddlesbees Orchestra.
It's somebody that's like that's their only song. But
Yeah.
anyways, I'm sure we have sponsors and stuff.
We do. Craig Dulesky actually just texted me and he said not to bother you during the show. But I could be a part of this Zoom call and read the comments for you and Jessie.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think that's possible because we're in 2 different cities and we're set up with a screen to go live, but appreciate it, Craigers. That's really funny actually.
I'll get on the YouTube and see what people are saying.
We should do one show next week in LA because we're going to be in Los Angeles all next week.
Mm-hmm.
We should do one where we just patch listeners in.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
If it's possible.
Semisonic.
Semisonic.
Avi.
We should do one where we patch in listeners.
Yeah.
We can just go over that private RPR page, Ross Patterson Revolution page, and then pop the link on there, right? I would imagine that's how it works, but maybe not. I don't think I've Zoomed with more than 4 or 5 people.
Our tech guys are like screaming at us right now, but I mean, it might be possible. Be possible.
We don't have access to them either right now. It's just you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like you're really getting inside of like what would it be like if we were both kidnapped, you know?
Yeah.
If we were both taken.
Right.
Because behind you, that's exactly what I picture. Like, I don't know where you are. Like
a nondescript.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cords hanging out of the wall, clothes in the corner, and I'm trying to guess where you are. I would never even know what city, Jessie. There's nothing in there. Like if I took this screenshot now, you could be anywhere in the world.
Well, you guys, anyone who's on the boards that has watched Don't Fuck with Cats, that's exactly what they were doing, right? So this guy was fucking with cats in this nondescript, just like this. And so what these people did, these weird little people in this chat room, would take pictures of stuff like, oh, where's that from? Like that kind of wire. Where can you get it? Like, what's the serial number on it? So that you can like try and pinpoint where in the world this weird room is. Like that knob is only in, Home Depot at fucking what, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they like figured it out from all that shit.
Wow. So for you,
Yeah.
you could be literally anywhere in the world. For me, there is a poster of Austin behind my head. So like,
yeah, pretty, I could find you pretty quickly, I think. Unless they were trying to throw me off because they know how easy it is for me to be like, oh, he's in Austin, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She'll just go right to Austin. She doesn't even think further than that.
No, and I'll probably be in Boston.
You're fucking dumb, dude. You're dumb, bro.
Let's get to the sponsors, kids. First and foremost, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Here we go. Biggest deal I've ever seen a company do on this show or Drinkin Bros or any others. 30% off to anybody who's a member of the military, first responder, a teacher, or works in the government. That is the coolest thing of all time, man.
And bumping it up to 30% is
nobody's done that.
Insane because it kind of puts you guys above like the normal, civilian dum-dums. We still get 25% off, which is great.
Yeah.
But bumping that first responder, government worker, teacher, anyone who's really seriously affected by this, bumping that up to 30%.
Real jobs. We can say real jobs, right?
Real jobs, people that actually do stuff that means something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Besides us stupid heads.
Yeah, like being a lawyer isn't a real job. It's just it's bullshit. But being, first responder or being in the military or being a teacher. Come on, man. Those are the real jobs.
That's the real jobs. We're just fucking idiots.
The rest of these dicks out here in these streets, just a bunch of dum-dums, including ourselves. Yeah. They get a 36-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest on that. And all of those deals that we just mentioned are still applicable with it, including if you buy a mattress, you get 2 free pillows. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. Next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Boom, 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 boom. Shablanker.
Ooh. Oh, that's beautiful. You got a nice tone today. Very, very,
very
nice
baritone today.
Yeah, very
depends on how tired I am. But I can go real baritone.
You were out partying last night.
I mean, it was with kids, so it was back by 10.
Boozing.
Not really. I mean, my usual 2 glasses and a sip. 2 and a sip. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
I'll have 2 and then let me just have one more sip. You want to split one with me? But then kids always know when you partied a little bit, and so he was up all night long. You're welcome.
Oh, that's beautiful. You need some Strike Force to get some energy running through them veins, Jabes. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com today. Promo code Revolution, 20% off. Lasts longer than 5-hour energy, and they ship everywhere in the entire world. No carbs, no sugars, no gluten in that if you care about that type of shit. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com today. Promo code Revolution, 20% off. Last but not least, Manscaped.com. Everybody's hitting me up about this. The UFC had another card last night, and they were like, dude, Manscaped is doing all of their shit. They were like, you're big time now. And I was like, yeah, we kind of are. So you can obviously tell by the backgrounds we're in. We are super big time.
Yeah, we've obviously made it. So
for the audio listeners, you can't see it, but James is just throwing her dirty clothes around the room right now.
As if it's money. Like it's money. Making it rain with dirty clothes.
Manscaped.com. Make your balls happy. It's great for shaving the pubes. You got to keep trim down there. It's also good for your fucking armpits and the rest of your bullshit. So do it. This is one kit you should have in your house. Speaking of Craig Dulesky, he bought one and hit me up and was just like, yo, man, this is legit. I'm like, yes. It's the Lawnmower 3.0 is the name of the new one. It's got different settings on it. So It is pretty much just mandatory to have in your house for men or women, to be honest with you. Use the promo code Revolution for 20% off at manscaped.com.
And Safety First Medical was saying this time of year, especially, get rid of that hair. It's really going to help.
Real hot.
With any kind of, sweating.
Yeah.
And the less hair, the less,
So tonight is the last night, or today, this afternoon is the last day of me in this Airbnb here in Austin. I want to chat a little bit about Airbnbs because I've been in a lot of them lately, and I'm heading to another one over the weekend, obviously.
Okay.
This is the greatest experience at an Airbnb that I have ever had.
Ever.
Yeah. I want to give him a shout out to Scott, my host here.
Scott and Katie,
dude. So you weren't here for this last night. They dropped off a thank you bag, like a little goodie bag, and just said, thanks for staying. We hope you enjoy your new home in Austin. And there was 2 coffee mugs in there that were personalized for us. And the best and the best. First of all, we showed up here and it was stocked. Like the fridge was stocked full of
fully stocked
food,
you guys.
Drinks, alcohol, everything.
Water. They gave us a bottle of wine on 3rd day. I mean, they're just like the best. They stay out of your shit. You know what I mean? They are on the property, but they're just like awesome.
Yeah. So it's what it is it's a townhouse, and so they own the other one. Could not have been nicer people. And here's the thing: like, I went through their reviews because I'm about to leave them a review here as soon as I check out, and all of the reviews were like glowing like this. They will rent this out forever with how great these reviews are. 100%. I don't know why everybody else doesn't do this, because dude, I told them, I was like, look, man, you don't know what I do, but I was like, we host, a couple podcasts. We have guests in and out of town. I will literally give them your address for every single time in here, because
and we know they'll be
amazing. Yep.
Yeah. Completely taken care of. They'll love it. Perfectly located. Beautiful house.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you reach for that they don't have. Ironing board, hair dryer, towels, robes, sparkling water.
I never give shouts out like this to Airbnbs, but holy shit, man, these were the greatest people on the planet. And I don't know why more people don't do this. They're going to make a fuck ton of money for doing shit like this. Like,
I hope. Yeah. I hope they do.
It's great. Once the word gets out, because I mean, the reviews were like through the roof, and I was just like, once the word gets out, it's unstoppable. It's unstoppable for these guys in particular. A lot of people were hitting me up about some potential moves, some people coming to the city here.
Okay.
Joey Diaz, who has one of the best podcasts. He's also friends with Joe Rogan. Somebody, I would say like 4 or 5 messages came through. Joey Diaz yesterday on his podcast said that he was talking about the end of LA, and it was virtually talking about everything that's going on there in Los Angeles. And in that very Joey Diaz voice, just
sure.
Hey, it's time to get the fuck out of the city. It's time to get the fuck out of the city. I should have known better. It's time to get the fuck out of the city. And he was talking about, with the police starting to be defunded and the crime and everything else, and like the city keeps getting shut down, and more businesses are going under, and blah blah blah. And he goes, man. You know who called this? You know who I should have fucking listened to? Should listen to Rogan. He's fucking out of here next month. And I was like, whoa.
What?
Yep. Pretty bombshell to drop on that show yesterday.
Where's he? He's going.
Where is he going? That is a great question.
But he's out of LA, huh?
Joey Diaz confirmed it yesterday on his show, and he said, starting next month, Rogan will be out of here, and that's it. Can't confirm or give any speculation where he's headed, but
Callan and Brandon are talking about Austin.
Really?
I mean, they're throwing it around.
Yeah.
I haven't heard. Rogan said what? Colorado?
Denver, Austin, blah, blah, blah. Look, I've gotten your messages. I think I know the answer. That's all I'm going to say. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens to him. But when Joey Diaz said he's leaving next month, that was pretty much the confirmation. And he was just, high as shit, Joey Diaz, just smoking weed.
Well,
you know.
we're there and we're quickly becoming mayors of the town. So, open invitation, guys, if you want to come on down.
Pop on down.
We'll help you get acclimated.
Yeah, pop on down if you're
Pop
down
on
here.
down,
But
give us a call. We'll have you on. We'll let you know how it goes.
yeah, but a lot of listeners were like, "Hey, man, is he going to Austin too? Like, is there?" And I'm like, "Man,
We don't know. That would be crazy, but
do we know? Do we not know? Who knows? Who
Who
knows,
knows?
Shapes? You know, who knows? Either way, it's gonna get fun. Because one of the meetings I took last night, they said Tesla was coming here. So
okay.
they,
That I think we all kind of knew, right?
it was down to
He threatened it.
It was down to well, publicly, it's down to here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Austin and Tulsa, Oklahoma. I guess they've
Mhm.
backed up the truck of like, hey, but everybody's just like, dude, we don't want to live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Forgive me, I've
No.
never been to Tulsa. So maybe it's a wonderful
Oh,
city.
sorry.
I don't know. I've never been. Have you been there?
No.
I have not. So I don't know. But a lot of
so
people
maybe gorgeous and beautiful and amazing. I don't know.
But a lot of people are just like, I don't want to go to Tulsa.
I don't want to go to
allegedly.
Tulsa. Yeah.
So we'll see. He might be on the move here as well. And super interesting conversation last night because they were talking about taxes regarding like cars and shit like that. How you had to go through dealerships and everything else, and
Mhm.
the reason why he didn't want to is because he wanted to sell it at an exact price. And
Right.
I guess they're trying to beat the laws on that now. And I think that model is probably the best, and I enjoy it, and I hope it ends up going that route where they give you a specific number on a car, and it's just like, look, this is what it is, man. This is what it's rolled out at. We're not going to dicker over shit. If you have trade-ins or whatever, obviously you can dicker over that, I guess. But
That's
other
what I
than
want
that,
for everything.
yes, where they make a fair
Give me a
price.
fucking price.
All those Teslas are very, very fairly priced, I feel. And you look at the options online. There's not a lot. You can get extra battery life or whatever. All the cars are. Look at Tesla. They're just it's next level. It's one of the best cars there is, if not the best car made. But the thing that was interesting to me about that model when I was talking to these people at dinner last night was it appears as if other dealerships are going in the same route. So that was the kind of the deal with Ford, with the Bronco, with the new Bronco, where they listed it online and they said, hey, we want you to put down $100 deposit. That's what Tesla was doing. They also said you have no obligation and we'll give you the money back if you don't want the car, when it comes out, you don't like it. But they had exact prices for all of the models, all of the packages, everything to the dollar, a year in advance, where it was just like, hey, this is what the car is going to cost. We're going to try to give you the best deal. So we can make money and you don't have to come in and dick with us. Because like that lower end Bronco was $28,000.
Yeah, that's not bad. Horrible.
Not at all. Not
Yeah.
at all. And it was like, all right, cool, man. I would rather have that than the hemming and hawing of going into these dealerships. Like, owning a small business, typically you lease a car, through the business and all that shit. And it's like, God, every time I go in there, it is just misery and dread for an entire week. You know what day you're going in there to try to dick with these people, and it's always the worst experience of your life.
The worst experience of your life. I'm stuck in a world right now of that exact thing where I just don't understand how people price stuff, and I don't get it. I don't get it.
No.
I don't get it. I'm in a world of hemming and hawing and oh well and oh we did blah and oh you like I honestly do not understand what happens in that world.
No, I would just like a hard number for everything in this life. Whatever happens after that happens. Because that's what I do in my line of work. Like shit, look, man, for all these projects, everybody's agreed to a number. If I go over budget, like I'm the one who's fucked, not everyone else, as well as should be. I'm the one who made the quote.
You get, in a movie, like you can get fired. You'll get yelled at.
Yeah.
You'll get, if you go over budget without fucking telling people that you're going over budget, I do not understand. I don't understand.
No. And like in the movie business, then you have to go back in as a producer and say, all right, I'm going to cut this and this and this to try to make up for that thing that I fucked up, because I've given a hard number. People have paid for this film, and that's what it's going to be. I wish the rest of the world was like that. It appears as if Elon Musk, that is what he is doing, and this is the business model he does. And there is a reason why that guy is beloved.
He's
the dude.
Yeah,
he's the dude around the world.
Yeah.
The other one I love is obviously Big Dick Branson.
Yeah.
I love Richard Branson.
You do.
Man, the airlines are in trouble. Everybody obviously knows that, I think, at this point. American Airlines announced that, hey, man, we're no longer doing social distancing on flights. We're cramming them in there, and if it is what it is, because we're about to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
And I got an email, I literally said this, 2 weeks ago on the show. I was like, one of these is going to be out, and they're going to have to merge with somebody else, and that's going to be a whole thing. Qantas Air in Australia is going to stop flying for, I think, until the end of the year. They're shutting down their jets. And then I got an email this morning. Yeah, right. Like we ever go to New Zealand, but for the people that live there, I'm sure it's a big deal. Sure. With that, I got an email this morning. I'm going to try to pull it up here. It was from American Airlines, and it says American Airlines and JetBlue have announced a new partnership. So
together?
Yeah, it says seamless access to both airlines, JetBlue and American Airlines. Are going to have new routes, including JFK and then Tel Aviv and Athens, Rome, and Rio de Janeiro. Not going to any of those places anytime soon, but these are the first steps in this. Big Dick Branson, Virgin Atlantic overseas, obviously Virgin is gone over here, was going under. He just turned 70, and as his 70th birthday present to himself, he has decided to save that airline over there and get them out of debt. And there was an article that was written. You okay?
Yep.
Okay. You just got freaked out back there. I feel like you're Brie Larson in the room.
People are saying there was a hand under my door. I don't know if it was Jack's or... But then I got freaked out. Sorry. Go ahead. Or if people are trying to freak me out, I'm not sure. Are you guys serious? Okay, go ahead.
He does it to me all the time when I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah, and it's a big gap, so like his whole hand could fit under there. We'll see.
Anywho's, Big Dick Branson got himself out of debt and decided to save the airline. And then there was an article written about like how billionaires lose all their money, and the number one business was airlines.
Yeah. I just don't see how that's possible. I mean, between rates and how many people they cram in there and how many, I don't know.
You know, fuel costs and all of that shit, and then lawsuits. I think, there's a lot of lawsuits that happen on these things. And the crew and all that shit operating around the world is just so costly. And then you encounter something like this pandemic, and you were snowed at that point, Yeah. So, I was trying to think about it. I was like, yeah, man. I mean, shit, Elon Musk, even with SpaceX, spending all of his own money, having some shit fail. He had to pay for that. He had to foot the bill for that before the government stepped in and was like, all right, great. You finally have a test launch that worked. We'll put some money into it. Big Dick Branson, obviously. And then the other airlines who've gone in the past. Remember Pan Am was a thing for, that was like the first airline, and then it was gone.
Yeah. Not in our lifetime, was it?
No, not in our lifetime.
Okay.
I think it went out in the 80s, actually. It went down in the 80s, but still, like, airlines over the years, it's been a rough business, man. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Yeah.
Because like I said, it's one of those things that you don't want to be cutting corners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as far as like packing people in and making sure that like they're making enough money to pay the people that check all the shit and make sure everything's working and all of that. I'd rather have them do that than space me out one person in between. Every flight I've been on, actually in the exit row, no one sits next to me. So I've had the whole row, even in a full flight, we've had the whole row, me and whoever else is in the other exit.
Well, it's extra money.
may be
Yeah.
the way to go. Just because you'll have the whole road to yourself as of right now. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. As of right now. And then we got some breaking news. There was a rumor that Kanye West had pulled out of his bid for the president of the United States. He's actually filed paperwork. There we go. Paperwork, whatever, man. He's actually filed the paperwork to make it on. And so he is going to show up on one state's ballot, and it is going to be Oklahoma.
Oh.
The whole state, James. You get the whole state when you run for president. Interestingly enough, though, he missed his paperwork for Florida, which is very telling. Look, Florida is always the big one. I feel like every election, it always comes down to Florida. Maybe he didn't want to take votes away from Trump there. I don't know. So I don't know why he's doing it. Here's the thing. If he's polling at 2% right now, 2% in Florida would swing it.
Right.
It really would, because that's probably going to be a 50-49 stitch again. It is every single election. So it's always down to ever since 2000 with the hanging chads, remember? That fucking state is always down to the last 100 votes. So he didn't do it there. The other thing that's interesting about this, in the paperwork that he filed, the party he is listed as is the BDY, which stands for the birthday party.
What?
Yeah.
What's the Y? BDY?
I don't know. I guess that's short for birthday party. Because I guess you have to go like Dem or Rep or so BDY was the name he chose for his party that is down the middle. You know
what, dude? I can't. Okay. Honestly, I'll let you go as long as I could handle, but the whole Kanye running thing, this has to be the last time because I can't do it.
Imagine showing up with your paperwork and it says the birthday party.
So fucking stupid. But dude, it's just rich people fucking doing whatever the fuck they want. There's real problems in the world. What is he fucking doing?
The birthday party, James.
If he was really serious, it'd be a different story.
But the comedian in me loves the fact that he named it the birthday party, Because what other type of party would you name it, The engagement party? The birthday party is pretty awesome. And if this is an epic troll, congratulations. I'm all in,
I'm done with. We have enough epic trolls. Our whole fucking shit is trolls now.
That's all we're left with. No,
we're
that's
not.
all we're left
we can't
with.
be. We can't be. I refuse to live in that world. There's people with real fucking problems, and these fucking idiots are playing around in the fucking election. What the fuck? How nice for you. How nice for you that you have so much fucking money that you don't really have to care about shit. How cool. You can go and be like, I'm in Oklahoma and I'm the birthday party and I have millions and trillions and billions of dollars, so I don't really fucking care. Dude, fuck that shit. And he's dumb anyways.
This was worth the price of admission today, kids. Oh, God.
We can't talk about that anymore.
We won't.
Talk about it with your fucking friends if you want, because I cannot hear that motherfucker anything else that he's doing. Not 1 second of it.
By the way, when I say all we have left is trolls, it's kind of true. There is no other form of entertainment left. Netflix today announced, they were like, hey, man, we're not really sure when any of your favorite shows are coming back because we can't get anything into production. So we have no answers for you, is what they have said. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Shit, I forgot to tell you. I'm not going to say which company, but a large production company reached out to us and said, hey, do you guys have any interest in doing a television show out of your podcast? And I was like, what? And I was like, I don't know what network. I go, well, here's the thing. I go, what network would this be on? How can you get anything or whatever? And they're honestly, they were like, hey, man, you guys are one of few studios that are actually shooting like live content every day. They
Yeah.
were like, there is going to be a desperation amongst, think about all the streaming and cable outlets and shit. And they were like, that they have nothing to put on. And they were like,
Yeah.
we're calling to gauge your interest. And if so, would you mind if we represented you in a potential sale of this or whatever? And I was like, look, man, we're not going to change the format of any of this. If you want to do this and put whatever we say on, we have
on television.
Creative control.
Right? Like we can't be on television or else we'll have to like
I don't know.
think about what we say. Which
No. So allegedly, and here was the example they gave me, and you would know the answer to this. Because I was like, look, man, our content's pretty aggressive and pretty crass and all this shit. And I was like, we definitely don't want to change that. Like,
Yeah.
And they were like, no, you don't have to. There is a guy that they've been testing it out with on Netflix, who has a podcast, and they've been turning his some of his like most epic stories into animated form.
Okay. Who is it?
Tim something or shit. Alec knows, and I guarantee you he knows.
What? Somebody may know on the boards.
On the boards, yeah. Find out on the boards, but god damn it, if you said it I would know it. Anyways, but they were like, man, there's some weird stories, and one of them was about like taking LSD and some other things, and what they're doing is animating these stories into half-hour versions, and the guy already has a podcast right now, and that's what Netflix is doing to try to get content, and they asked if we would be interested in that as well, and I was like, well, oddly enough, we've tested out Drinkin Bros with a few like animated clips and shit, and it's really fucking funny. Yeah, that's the desperation that's going to start to set in here from all of these outlets going forward. But damn it, I wish I could remember that guy's name.
Damn it, Bob.
Damn it, Bob. But they're doing animated things with him, just taking his stories and going on Netflix with it. And, companies are starting to reach out going, look, man, we're trying to prepare for a potential 8 months worth of shutdowns here. And they're definitely going to need content to fill it up. And it was really surprising. I was like, oh, shit. Well, no, but yeah, if we could keep doing this show. And I'm like, I don't really know how that works and everything else. But
I don't know. Like part of this show too is the like comments, the nooners. I don't know how it would work.
Well,
we'll see.
Here's the thing. Do you get to own the rights and then put it anywhere you want? Like, because right now that's kind of what you get to do. And it's like, it's like you air it first, but it's definitely going to be strange times ahead in that world. But if that's
Tim Horton.
Yes. Tim. Yes. Yeah.
Safety first, really dominating the boards today.
Safety first. Oh, is that who it is?
Safety first medical.
Yeah.
Which is always like the weirdest name to say.
Alec texted in Tim Robinson, but I don't know if that's true.
Look, it's one of those Tims. It's one of those Tims. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not sure about that. I mean, I guess we'd have to let the whole world go to shit, and then maybe we would, right?
I'm not sure.
Maybe we would be a television show. I mean, shit.
It was the Midnight Gospel. Duncan Trussell is his name. I found it. You know who that is?
So yeah, none of what you said.
Great.
Yeah. So Duncan Trussell is a comedian. He's on Rogan a lot.
Okay.
Has his own podcast. Kind of, he's one of those guys that just does a bunch of drugs, does a bunch of stuff, he's just like that person. He'll do anything for the story.
Yeah.
Drug wise.
Yep. So Netflix has animated his series, The Midnight Gospel.
Okay.
And they're embracing a novel technique and challenge, with all of this. And they're looking from audio from his podcast interviews. And look, this was literally the same call I took yesterday. Where they were like, we're trying to figure out what could potentially happen, either putting this on air or possibly animating your clips and things like that. And we want to know if we can have the rights to rep you guys. And I was like, I'm not really sure how that would work. So if you want to come back to me with something else, that'd be great. But it says Joey Diaz has been on there, Trudy Goodman, Dr. Drew. And each episode features conversations between Clancy and being from a distant planet, touching on some themes as meditation, hope, death, everything else. Yeah,
he's a trip, basically. He's a trippy dude. But that's
But if
cool.
if that's happening right now, again, it was really shocked to hear that. I was like, oh, well, shit. But it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense that everybody's out, and
Mm-hmm.
and again, they're bored yesterday. We're like, look, we don't know when any of your favorite shows are returning because we can't get them back into production. Because if you think about it, something like the Ozark, which we're obviously huge fan of Ozark, right? It is so specific that even if you move that to another place, it would fuck up the whole aesthetic of that show, where it's like, dude, I'm so used to that dirty world of the Ozark. You can't
Yeah.
shoot that on a soundstage or in Iceland or something else,
Might be able to do Iceland, to be honest with you, but yeah, they'd have to have a sound stage and then find some weird ass exterior shit.
Oof, it'd be weird, right?
Yeah.
Strange times.
Strange times
ahead. Jabes, you look great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, really killing the game still.
Thank you. You
in all
are
this.
all brightened up. You look so much better.
Thanks. Thank you. And thank you to Best Buy for whoever left this weird ring light in another aisle. And look, if you're out there and you're having problems with Zoom and all that other shit, know that you're not alone. And all of these, dude, Best Buy said every single one of those cameras was sold out nationwide, and the ring lights as well. And I was just like, I mean, this was in like a side aisle with like children's headphones. And I was like, oh, well, there's one.
Shit.
Yeah. Super strange. Super strange. We appreciate the Nooner crew dropping by. We're doing Drinkin Bros news here in about 30 to 40 minutes. Go to iTunes and rate the show a 5-star and give it a quick review. It really helps scoot us on up the charts. Please do that. We're almost at 1,100 now reviews on there, which is amazing. So please keep reviewing it on iTunes, and then subscribe to Drinkin Bros Podcasts on YouTube. That encompasses all our shows: Ross Patterson Revolution, Drinkin Broettes, Drinkin Bros Sports, Savage Saturdays. And we're here with you every single day.